Hi guys, Chris Corey here. I'm the executive producer on Red Alert 3, and it's my pleasure to walk you through the first demo of live Red Alert 3 software with many of its graphical flourishes turned on and with unit gameplay approaching what you'll see in the final game. So here we are in virgin unexplored territory. There are reports of Allied activity in the region. Of course, we are the Soviets. And our mission is to deploy an expeditionary force, establish a beachhead, and probe the enemy. So, like any other CNC game, we start with our mobile construction vehicle, the heart of any base, and we're going to deploy that into a con yard. Every base needs power, so the next thing we'll build is a power plant. I want to note that build times have been sped up for the purposes of this demo. Of course, in the final game, buildings will not build nearly as fast. And I want to call your attention to the scaffolding that you see as we build this refinery. In Red Alert 3, the Soviet faction builds up on the map, and while the scaffolding is up, the building is under construction and vulnerable to attack. So we've built our refinery next to one of these new ore nodes. In Red Alert 3, players mine resources from harvestable ore nodes that are invincible and can be used by any faction at any time. The resource mechanic is very simple. Build one refinery, get one harvester, and that harvester can farm one ore node. It's nice and simple. So as we pan over here to the southwest, we find this little island with an observation tower on it. If we can capture that observation tower, it might provide us some valuable intel. So we're going to build a barracks, and out of that barracks, we're going to build an engineer. The engineer, of course, is a classic CNC unit that we use to capture enemy and neutral structures. We're going to run our engineer down to the beach, and with a simple contextual move command, he's going to transform into his naval equivalent. Now in Red Alert 3, not all units are amphibious, but obviously the engineer is. His amphibious form has him in a little Zodiac motorboat. We're going to run him over to that observation tower and capture it.
Building captured.
That reveals Shroud. Our radar comes online, and yikes, look at all that blue. This map is crawling with Allied forces. So the good news is we know where the Allies are. The bad news, well, I bet they know where we are too. So we need to get busy building up a force to assault that Allied base. And that starts with some additional power. We'll need a war factory. So those Allied sentry bombers appear to be taking our presence here a little personally. It definitely looks like our cover's blown. We have to get our power plants back online, but those bombers will be back if they see that we're rebuilding. We need to protect these new power plants. We're going to build a few bullfrogs. The bullfrog is the Soviets' primary troop transport. But fortunately for us, it's also armed with a powerful anti-aircraft flak cannon. This time we're ready for those sentry bombers.
Construction complete.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Okay, we need to take a look at what we're up against. We're going to create a patrol of sickles and investigate that Allied base. The sickle is this imposing spider walker. It has 3 machine guns. It's a powerful anti-infantry unit. We're going to run it up through the city center here. Here's a whimsical Red Alert structure, the brewery. Look at that bench toppling technology, best in RTS. Uh-oh. Looks like we have some Allied tanks on patrol here. We need to get out of sight, fast. We're going to use the sickle's secondary ability to leap up onto this bluff. In Red Alert 3, units at higher levels of elevation are invisible to the units below them, so we should be safe up here. It's a good thing, too. Those Allied Guardian tanks strike a flexible balance between speed, armor, and offensive punch. They would have made short work of us. So now we have a new patrol coming into range, but this time it's an infantry patrol. And remember that the Sickle is an anti-infantry vehicle. Ouch, that's going to leave a mark. They make short work of that patrol. The city is crawling with allies, so I think we're going to try a different approach. Let's make a break for the coast. Hopefully we can sneak into that allied base without encountering more enemy resistance. Uh-oh. Those are assault destroyers. They're lethal to our Sickles. So we need to skirt around the edge, stay out of range, and hope that they don't see us. And they have seen us. And unfortunately, they're amphibious units too. With those Guardian tanks there, we are caught between a rock and a hard place. We're screwed. And now our base is under attack. We've been so busy that we haven't done a very good job of preparing our base defenses. Those Guardian tanks are shredding those power plants, and it's not going to take long for them to finish off the base. Looks like we have to make a run for it. We've packed up our MCV, and we're making a dash towards the ocean. As you can see, the MCV is another one of our amphibious units. This is probably a good time to talk about how Red Alert supports naval gameplay like you've never seen before. This time we're bringing Navy right into the center of our game design. Previous Red Alert games have certainly featured naval gameplay, but not as predominantly as we do in Red Alert 3. And this is manifest in several ways. We've already shown you a few of our amphibious units. Again, not all units in Red Alert 3 are amphibious, but many are. Amphibious units take on different capabilities or have different statistics depending on whether they're fighting on land or in the ocean. But base building on water is the most dramatic indication that Red Alert 3 takes Navy very seriously. And it really adds a whole new dimension to the gameplay. Now you need to ask yourself, where is my opponent's base? Should I pursue a heavy armor strategy? A more typical RTS land-based attack? Or do I need to get out into the oceans as quickly as possible? There will also be ore nodes in the ocean. Ignoring the seas will give your opponent a significant economic and strategic advantage. Most other RTS designers have a tendency to keep Navy at arm's length or to ignore it altogether, but not us. In Red Alert 3, rule the oceans and you'll rule the world. So we've built up a pretty nice base here, lots of power, a naval yard.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building. Cancelled. Building. Construction.
Now we're going to build a structure that we haven't seen yet, the airfield. Let's take the initiative and go on the offensive. We're going to build a small squadron of twin-blade gunships and hunt down those assault destroyers who killed our Sickles. Time to exact some revenge.
Ready for deployment. Ready for deployment. Looking for clearing. Transporting siege weapon. Looking for clearing. Let's take over the area.
And those assault destroyers are looking for some more trouble. Fortunately for us, assault destroyers have no anti-aircraft capability. So our twin-blade gunships, along with those Tesla base defenses, make short work of them. Let's keep on pushing north. Hopefully we'll find some more destroyers to mince up.
Transporting siege weapon. Looking for clearing. Airspeed to maximum. Looking for clearing.
Uh-oh. Those are Allied hydrofoils, and these guys are all about the anti-air. They shredded our twin blades. We're going to move in some Stingray attack boats. These are a fast attack craft equipped with Tesla technology.
Ship reporting. Ship reporting.
The hydrofoils are great anti-air units, but they can't defend themselves from a naval or land-based attack. Luckily, there are no assault destroyers in the vicinity to protect them, and our Stingrays are having a field day.
Promoted.
Navigating. Course set.
Damn, those allies are persistent. It looks like our new base is under attack now. Those are attack drones. That can mean only one thing: aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers are the jewels of the Allied Navy. They're heavily armored with a large contingent of drone fighters. We need to counter this quickly or we're done for. To do that, we're going to build dreadnoughts, the most powerful ships in the Soviet Navy. They're equipped with a devastating artillery barrage. So this is going to be a close one. The pride of the Soviet Navy up against those aircraft carriers. Those attack drones extend the range of the aircraft carriers significantly and can do real damage. But the coordinated fire from those dreadnoughts is extraordinarily effective. Okay, it's time to end this once and for all. We're going to prepare a two-prong assault force to take against that Allied base to the north. On the naval side, we've got those dreadnoughts. On land, we're going to bring up those bullfrogs and fill them with an elite squad of Tesla troopers. Tesla troopers are a classic Red Alert unit, mechanized infantry that walk around in these cool power suits equipped with Tesla technology. We're going to take them up the coastal road, shadowed by our battleships. And there's a tantalizing target, an undefended naval yard. Once again, the dreadnought proves its abilities against naval units and structures. But the dreadnoughts are an extremely effective weapons platform for offshore bombardment too. So we'll move them up and stage them to take against that Allied base. At the same time, we're going to move up these bullfrogs. The only way to get infantry out of the bullfrog is through its man cannon. We're going to literally fire those Tesla troopers into the heart of this base. Those troopers are vulnerable to anti-aircraft fire as they float to Earth, but once inside that base, watch out.
Unit promoted.
The Allied commander is putting up a spirited resistance, but that's a lot of Tesla troopers.
Getting connection. Let the juice flow.
And there's the Kanyard. A coordinated attack from our dreadnoughts and those Tesla troopers should make short work of it. Looks like we've taught those capitalist pigs a thing or two about the might and mettle of the Russian people. Now it's just a mopping up operation.
Unit lost.
Whoa, what's this? So this is a surprise attack from the Empire of the Rising Sun. Those King Oni mechs are fearsome killing machines. And of course, they don't care whether they're wiping out Allies or Soviets. We have one last trick up our sleeve, the vacuum bomb. Let's hope it's not too late. Victory for the motherland. That concludes this first look at Red Alert 3's live gameplay. Red Alert 3 ships this fall on PC and Xbox 360 with a great custom-crafted cooperative campaign, naval gameplay unlike anything you've seen before, and more than 60 minutes of star-studded live-action cinematics. Thanks for your time, and I hope to see you soon at redalert3.com.